Failed death saves. Will there be an update that allows us to put our created characters into folders? Some people claim I have too many. Nonsense. Nonsense indeed. You can never have too many, except that one guy that has like 16,000. Maybe that's too many. Actually, I haven't checked in on that in a while. I wonder if it's still 16,000. I mean, we may be up to 20,000 right now based on the rate of creation that we saw before. But that might be too many, but everyone else is probably under that threshold. And yeah, I think this is something that's been on the list for us for some time. It's something we would love to do. We haven't been able to find the priority and the bandwidth to do it yet, but it is on the list and something that we want to do. I do know that there are some community created tools out there that will provide a stopgap for that in the meantime. So you might want to check into some of those Chrome extensions as well to assist with that. Until we can have the official standard solution. Alt F4 will help. I know that I forget or misremember various rules all the time. I'd be interested in seeing which rules are the most looked up on DDB. It might be fun to see it broken down by category too, stuff like which classes and subclasses get the most views or the various status effects, combat maneuvers, etc. That is an excellent request, and we will see what we can do about that. We can, I think that I have looked this up before, and I am trying to remember what my discoveries were about that. And, I'm not sure enough about what I'm about to say. So I don't want to spread any falsehoods or misinformation. So we'll see what we can do and see if we can include that in a future dev update. But excellent suggestion and idea. Big Zero Tires. I always hide the sidebar because it covers up my spells and abilities on the character sheet. Are there plans to update how the sheet UI interacts with the sidebar panel now that shared dice rolling is coming? So shared dice rolling is here. It's not coming any longer. But yes, this is something that we talked about. And, we've talked about the potential perhaps of, popping that out eventually, excuse me, and providing a few other options. So we'll see what we can do there. I do know that on larger desktop screens or even 1920ish type desktop screens, you shouldn't run into that problem. I do run into it on my laptop, and obviously a phone's a different story, or a tablet's a different story. But yeah, we certainly have seen this feedback, taking that into consideration and trying to figure out what some of the best solutions are for that. Valkyrie Gaming Solutions. I like that username. Can you speak to when more DM tools such as roles, campaign building will be coming? Thank you, Adam and staff. Keep up the great work. All right, so DM tools, big broad category, but one of the things that we can say is that rolling as a DM through the combat tracker and some of those other places that you would want to roll, absolutely on the list. Hopefully it's not going to be too much longer before we start to see some of that roll out. Campaign building is a little bit of a bigger beast, and something that we are going to give you updates on as soon as we're able to share plans on that. It's not on the near-term horizon, but it is something that we're looking into, and is definitely on the list. Lord Garthon, does a ranger keep meat on dying embers? Can you read the first letter of this question? What? Does a ranger... I'm confused. I'm going to reread. Does a ranger keep meat on dying embers? Is this like one of those word games where you're trying to get me to say something inappropriate? Or if so, I am entirely missing this joke. I don't mind being the butt of a joke. And so I am reading it out loud again, and then I don't know the answer. Does a ranger keep meat on dying embers? Can you read the first letter of this question? D. I am so confused. Someone explain that one to me after we get done. Vachus Bellum, is there plans to allow opting out of publishing roles in the game log? I have players upset they can't fiddle with their dice in between turns without publishing to everyone. That is a likely story that they're coming up with there. They don't want to fiddle with their dice in between turns. They want to be able to fiddle with their results when they announce it. They don't like the accountability that the game log is bringing into our play situation. No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to point fingers at anyone out there, but yeah, we're talking through the potential for this and seeing if there's a way to allow for different kinds of sharing options. Nothing incredibly soon is going to come on that front because we're a company that really values transparency. We're just dice roll transparency is a big part of that. So, but in all seriousness, though, yes, we've seen this feedback, and we're trying to figure out, what the best pathing would be there. What we wouldn't want is for games who want the ability to have that level of transparency with the dice rolling. We don't want there to be a way to easily circumvent that, but we do understand that there may be some other valid reasons that you wouldn't want that to be published constantly. Non-objectifiable. What's with the summon the cleric wizard thingy? Yeah, that is called Stream Heroes, and it is something that you can do with. You can do that on the little channel points thing. They go very very quickly, but I want to try to emphasize to everybody it's a summon that you can do with channel points, but emphasizing to everyone that whoever gets those summons, the idea is if that boss falls, everybody gets to enter the giveaway. So it really is, you're all on the same team out there, even if you don't get to summon. So they go very quickly, but again, we're all in this together. And if that boss gets downed before I get done talking here, we give away legendary bundles. So yeah, that's what the summon the cleric slash wizard thingy is. GK Smith, LCW, where'd you get that sexy hat? I don't know. Amazon somewhere, probably. So, but yeah, I appreciate the compliment. Millet Swain, how does the boss thing at the bottom work? Okay, I think I just explained that one. Sorry for the duplicate. JD Henriksen, there is currently no way to set a custom range on homebrew ranged weapons. Is this something which will be added at some point? It is certainly something that is on the list and something that we want to add. No idea on the ETA yet, but yeah, there are several of those quality of life changes that we're trying to tackle as soon as we can get to them when some of these other big rocks are completed. Saber Runner, will we ever see the Blood Hunter in the Compendium app? Unclear at this point in time. So no answer yet. When it comes to that, as you likely know, the Blood Hunter is not official content, and so we want to make sure that we're avoiding confusion whenever we can in the various places. So at this point in time, no update on that, but appreciate the feedback, and we'll add it to the rest of the feedback that we get and the other factors that we have to consider. Cyberwolf 1201 in the homebrew race menu. What does calling out in quotes a trait do? I don't know what you mean by calling out. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if I can answer that one because I don't quite know what you mean by calling out. If you want to try to clarify, maybe I can get to that a little bit later in the show. If not, maybe somebody in chat can help you. Dark Abyss Keeper, what's the biggest technical hurdle the teams are wrestling with at the moment? Oh, wow. That's a good one for Mr. Dave Heartless, who I need to get back onto the stream. So hopefully we can make that happen in the next week or two. But he might be better to answer that one. But I do know that, we're certainly continually dealing with scale and just kind of the massive growth that we continue to see, which is a great problem to have, by the way, as far as champagne problems go. But I do know that that's something that we have to be very very cognizant of pretty regularly. And so from my outside looking in perspective on what the engineers are doing, that is probably what I would call out. But Dave might have a better answer for that, so maybe ask that one again here in a week or two when I can get him back on the stream. Restless Dead, how are we doing? 9 minutes left. My players in a campaign can access Tasha's material, even though I have removed that from the shared content management. Are there plans to keep them from being able to add things like feats or spells from those sources they don't own? And I've removed campaign content. If so, how high is that priority? It's confusing some of my argumentative players. Oh man, why are you not letting the kids play with the new toys? But no, I understand that there are probably some valid reasons to do that out there for some groups, and obviously you do you at your table. But yeah, at this point in time, that is something that content management in its current form is probably more situated around the idea that we don't want groups to go forward reading spoilerish content in adventure supplements. So, really, the first implementation of content management was primarily about that. And so, that's something that we've done. But I will say that we certainly have wanted to go back around and do some of this further restriction and limiting that you're describing here, but we haven't been able to find the spot in the roadmap to do that yet. So no real update on the ETA. We don't give those anyway, but yeah, I think that for us, that's probably something right now that would be a table discussion. And I realize that's not as much convenience as we would eventually want to provide, but no update on when that's going to be able to fit in. Sakamatana 5. Can we get a data on how many blade clones we get with the Dampier out? So yeah, we might can do that at some point in time. But as always with Unearthed Arcana content, the hope anyway, I haven't heard exactly yet, but the hope is that we can get those new Gothic inspired races out, the Monday following, like we typically do. So hopefully nothing's going to stand in the way of that. We'll keep you posted on how that goes. But yeah, we can see on the data at some point what we're going to do. Toxic Core, will there be work on clearing the game log so I can reset it for each session? That is also a great question and something that we will likely do at some point, and we will probably have it to where not only are you keeping so we'll put it this way: we're collecting that data regardless. We hope to present the data on rolls and anything else that happens in the game log, present that in different ways with different kinds of options for you to see it in the future. That could include being able to reset it for a session, could include being able to go back and see different sessions. So when you talk about, hey, you remember that time I rolled 5 20s in a row? That kind of stuff, you could go back and see that. So those are things that we do want to add over time, and we'll keep you posted on it. Saber Runner, can we have spell cards in a printer friendly format? I would love to do that, and it's not a priority at this point. So, on the list of hundreds of things that we have, but it's not a priority. We haven't seen enough demand. So, anyone who wants printable spell cards in the world out there, unite, rise up, let us know everywhere that you can let us know things. That spell cards in a printer friendly format should be the number one thing that we are working on right now. And as always, we will listen to the community and we will do our best to make that happen. But to this point, that spell card revolution has not happened, and we're not able to prioritize over some of the other things that we're working on. But it is something that we plan to do, something that we want to do. Let's see. Lucky Charm Quark. Will you show us shared dice rolling right quick? So I think I showed that off a little bit earlier. If you missed it, I think that you're able to just rewind and go back and watch it. And if not, the VOD will certainly let you do that. So I'll jump to other questions now. But yeah, I did it earlier in the show. So if you missed that, you should be able to see it. North Coast 24, 2 players in our party just noticed their character sheets are no longer loading on older iPads. Is this a possible bug or just time to get new devices? So the easy answer for me here is to say buy some new tablets. But I don't know if it's a bug without further information. I know that sometimes Safari messes up if they're opening in Safari I don't know if you're opening it in the mobile app or not. So yeah, need a little bit more information to understand that. Or I could just go the easy route and say, yeah, buy some new tablets. And that probably will fix it. Valkyrie Gaming Solutions, will we be able to homebrew base classes in the future? Planned, but not no ETA as of now. Son, whoa, the boss has already died. Grief at Grief Fennec's hand as the wizard. So congratulations with 4 minutes to spare. You must have rolled very, very high today and did very well there. I didn't even have to keep stringing you along and in a very nonchalant way where you didn't know that I was just trying to talk a little bit longer where you'd have time to get those last licks in on the boss. So I don't even have to do that today. All right, Son of Anubis, as a DM, is there a way to keep my dice roll secret while using the shared dice roller? Not at this point in time, but again, as I was getting at earlier, we want to potentially add that kind of thing. A whole lot of consonants and an A on the end. Do we have an update on Candlekeep pre-order bonuses? I just got my order in today. Awesome. Thank you for pre-ordering. No update yet on pre-order bonuses. We have to work through. Wizards of the Coast allows certain assets to be released ahead of a book release, and then certain ones to only be released after a book releases. And so in order for us to show some pre-order bonuses, they have to fall into that former category. And so at this point in time, we don't have those assets fully defined. And as soon as we do, we will hopefully be able to get back with you with some preview of at least some of those pre-order bonuses. And either way, we will have more of those when the book hits. And that's also another thing to kind of throw out there, is that if you have seen the kinds of portrait frames and so on that we've released over the last several releases, you can expect that same level of quality. Sometimes we get a book and the artwork isn't very conducive to a portrait frame, and so we have to create our own art. But either way, those are steps that we take to make those bonuses as fun as we can possibly make them. And as soon as we are able to share some of those assets, we will. Cistern 16, any plans for better cursed items management? Meaning, can there be a way to only reveal the cursed portion when appropriate for your campaign? So yeah, I think that this kind of thing is something that we would want to visit in inventory management updates that we want to do before, we want to at least start before the end of this year. And so I don't know. I don't think that cursed item revelation of that and hiding some of those details is something that will come immediately, but it is something that we would love to do, and we agree it would make playing those with those items much more convenient, and we certainly will be looking into it. Let's see. The Pipe 99, does the Prime Gaming subscription count for the new dice set? Actually, no. This is a great question. I'm glad you asked. This is not something. So it's not if you subscribe via Twitch that counts at all. This is getting a subscription for the D&D Beyond service on dndbeyond.com, which is a hero tier or master tier subscription. So those are specifically the subscriptions I'm talking about when it comes to getting that new dice set when February rolls around. El Grigo Loco, is your anniversary approximately 8.5 to 9 months before February 1st? Wow, that's getting really personal, man. But no, it is not. Actually, my youngest child was born on his brother's birthday, but he was also a full 9 weeks early, so he was very premature, and he spent a month or so in the neonatal ICU. So actually, no, it was not like a planned seasonal thing or anything like that. It was, it ended up being kind of a tragic day at first, but he's doing wonderful these days, and he's maybe a little too funny and silly at times, but other than that, he has grown into a very healthy young boy, and so yeah, not planned, but they just happen to have the same birthday. All right, let's see. One more question. Let's see. A lot of stuff about my dog. My new beagle's name is Bandit. Even has like a bandana collar. Totally on point. All right, let's see. Okay, let's do this one. Angus Davidson. Will you be able to add custom die rolls like /roll 3d6 plus 2? Definitely plan. There is so much more that we will be doing with rolling dice and shared dice rolling, and possibly integrating that shared dice rolling into a game space that lets people play online. All kinds of exciting things in store. Keep your eyes peeled, and we will give you updates as soon as we have them. Thanks very much for joining me today. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the week and the weekend. We will see you next time. Later, Gators.